Good morning and welcome to Gospel Bytes, where we take a bite at the Gospel for the day. Today is Monday, March 23rd. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. This is taken from John chapter 8, verses 1 to 11. It's Monday, March 23rd. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. Early in the morning, he came again to the temple. All the people came to him, and he sat down and began to teach them. The scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in adultery, and making her stand before all of them, they said to him, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the very act of committing adultery. Now in the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now what do you say?" They said this to test him, so that they might have some charge to bring against him. Jesus bent down and wrote with his finger on the ground. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let anyone among you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Once again he bent down and wrote on the ground. When they heard it, they went away, one by one, beginning with the elders. And Jesus was left alone with the woman standing before him. Jesus straightened up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" She said, "No one, sir." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go your way, and from now on, do not sin again." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise you, Lord Jesus Christ. Okay, so this is kind of a very touchy subject because some people believe that this means that we're not supposed to judge. And when they think of the word judge, they think just mind your own business and don't even think that anybody is committing a sin, because we are all sinners, which is true. We all sin. But if you look at the story, this woman was caught in sin. Okay, so definitely she was judged as a sinner. Yeah. But the question of Jesus was not about judgment, but condemnation. Even Jesus judged her. He said, "Go your way, and from now on, do not sin again." So Jesus had already judged this woman as someone who had committed sin. What Jesus did not do and what he did not want the people to do was to condemn, to punish the sinner. And I think Pope Francis had said this before. It's like he does not want it when um, family members condemn the sinners. It's like they're ostracized or outcast, considered as outcasts. No, what do we do with sinners? Yeah. When someone says, well, abortion is wrong, homosexual activity or relations are wrong, these are judgments of the act. But what do we do with the sinner? When in the time of Jesus, they were being stoned to death. So that was the condemnation, the punishment. Now, the fact that we don't punish them that way anymore, the fact that we don't stone people to death, doesn't mean that the sin has been eradicated. It only means that we do not dirty our hands. We do not um, condemn the sinner to death. We don't, uh, just condemn them as if they can never change. Rather, just like Jesus, show them compassion. No. There are many theories as to what Jesus wrote on the ground. And some said, well, the Jews believed that it was said that the Ten Commandments were written precisely by the hand of God, by the finger of God. And now Jesus is writing. It's almost like telling them, you know what? God, wrote this. Now, I am the only one who has the authority to judge and punish. Yeah? And so nobody has a right to condemn or to punish the sin. Yeah? It's only God who can do that. Yeah? But to say that this person is not a sinner, that one is it goes against what Christians are supposed to do. We are supposed to care enough to admonish the sinner, which is a spiritual act of mercy. You know, to leave a sinner in his sin is merciless. To let people waddle in sin without reminding them, that is uh, indifference. It's coldness. Rather, we should remind them, this is a sin, and I love you. I don't want you to suffer someday. That's why I'm reminding you. We recognize the sinner from the sin. The Pharisees could not. That's why for them to destroy the sin, you have to destroy the sinner. Yeah. Today, people think that, we should love the sinner, so we should love the sin. No, with Jesus, no, he recognized this is a sinner, but I have to love the sinner. I hate the sin. That's why Jesus said, from now on, don't sin again. This is how we treat the sinner. We treat them with love, respect, but with concern. We don't let them destroy themselves in sin. Rather, we remind them so that uh, maybe they would change, and pray for them. This is how we treat the sinner, because we are all sinners. I pray that people will pray for me, that I will change my ways and not persist in my sins as well. You know? That people don't just treat me like, well, you're a saint and we're not going to pray for you anymore because you're a saint. No, we are all sinners. That's why we need to pray for each other and remind each other when we have gone astray, because that's what love is all about. I'm Father Jerry Zambrano for another edition of Gospel Bites. God bless you. Have a nice day.